rollers, welcome back to my channel. My name is Emma and I'm going to be doing a reaction to my 5-star predictions round 1. In August I finally finished the last book that was part of this 5-star prediction series, or not series but like round, I guess, of 5-star predictions. And yeah, I'm gonna react to the video and give you my thoughts now in September of 2021 compared to January of 2020. I'm gonna put like the video up here. I'm gonna try my best to keep it in place with what I'm watching, but I have my AirPod in so that if I say things, you guys will be able to hear it. I don't know, I've never really done a video like this before, so we'll have to see how it goes. And yeah. First book I have on my list is Love Rosie by Cecilia Ahern. I think that's how you say it. But this book, I have seen the movie on Netflix. I love the movie. I don't know who, I can't think of the actors' names who are in it, but I believe the male guy is the same, the male lead is the same male lead as in You Before Me.
For those I haven't had the chance to say hi to properly, I'm Rosie. And this has got to be one of the happiest days of my life.
But I absolutely love this book. From what I know from watching the movie, it is about two best friends and they both kind of have feelings for each other, but the timing never really works out. And I don't know, sounds super cute. The movie is amazing. I'm guessing the book is even better because you know what they say, the book is typically better than the movie, but I am super excited to read this book. I have had this on my TBR for a while and I actually just happened to be at a bookstore and I found the book, so I picked it up and now it is on my 5-star predictions for 2020. So this is actually the book that I read most recently. I didn't really love it. I ended up giving it 3 stars. It wasn't bad, it just was long and kind of repetitive. I talk a lot about it during my August wrap up, so I'll link that up above, but it wasn't my favorite book. It's so interesting to hear me talk about this movie though now, because in January of 2020 I was just like, oh, it's some movie I found on Netflix, and now it's probably in my top 5 favorite movies. I believe it's still available on Netflix. I do recommend it. I don't necessarily recommend the book, but I do recommend the movie. And I don't know, maybe I would have liked it more if I was like a few years older. When I read it, maybe I just couldn't relate to it the way that I needed to, but it was not a 5-star read for me. The next book is Red, White, and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. This book, from what I know, is basically like a retelling of the 2016 election, where instead of electing our current US president, they instead elect a woman president, and her, like the first son, the woman president's son, and the prince, I think, of England. My eyes look really blue in this video. Have a hate to love relationship. I also really like my makeup. I love hate to love relationships. I think they are super cute. And everybody I know who has read this book has loved it. One of my friends who isn't even a big romance reader loved it. So going off the hype, I am gonna guess that it's a 5-star read. I am really excited to read this one as well. I'm a little worried that it's not gonna live up to the hype. I actually think, if I remember correctly, this book is probably the biggest hyped book. Actually, maybe not. No, I'm gonna say this is probably the biggest hyped book. There's one that probably comes in a close second to this, but it's probably the biggest hyped book which would be more that hyped. I have on my list this year. I don't know which one. So I'm a little worried for a letdown, but we'll see. Alright, so Red, White, and Royal Blue. I remember reading this one. I actually read it in November of 2020 and I finished it on election day night, which was really weird. I think I ended up giving this one as well 3 stars out of 5. It did not live up to the hype for me. I loved, I want to say like 60 to 70%, and then the last 30 to 40% dragged on like I wouldn't believe. And like there were so many times that I remember being like, okay, we're at the climax, and then I would like turn the book and see that I still had so much left of it, and I'd be like, there's more? And it wasn't like, there's more! It was like, there's more? Like, do I care this much for there to be more? I ended up giving this one 3 stars. I did actually recently also read Casey McQuiston's next book, which was One Last Stop. I did enjoy that one more, but I had the same complaint with that one, that it was just too long. I don't really like my romances that long. I have kind of come to discover, but yeah, didn't live up to the hype for me. The next one that I have on my list is kind of a wild card, an outlier, something that I wasn't really expecting to have on the list, but it is Landline by Rainbow Rowell. I did not like the first and only book I've read by Rainbow Rowell. I didn't like it, but I was watching a bunch of people's end of the year type videos, and someone was doing like a reread. My highlighter on my chin is really bad, I'm sorry. Someone was doing a reread vlog. They reread Landline by Rainbow Rowell.
Who did that?
Which, from what I understand, is about a couple who is having marital issues, and the husband goes away for the weekend, and somehow the wife is able to talk to the past husband over a landline and basically remember why she fell in love with him again. That's what I understand from their description. And I added it to my TBR, and then I happened to be at a thrift store a couple days later, and I found it, and it just felt like fate. I have heard that there's some problematic subjects in this book, but I just have a good feeling about it. It sounds like something I would like. It actually reminds me a little bit of the movie with Sandra Bullock, The Lake House.
Oh, I love that movie!
Which is about a couple who lives 2 years apart, and they're able to communicate through a letter in a mailbox. And
Emma, did I put a clip in?
It's a heartbreakingly amazing story.
You did!
My dearest Mr. Weiler.
Oh my god, I love this movie.
Are
I haven't
you
seen
willing
this
to play a game with me? 2 years ago today, I was taking the 1:45 train to Madison from the Riverside station, and I forgot something there. It was a gift from my father.
I always forget that she lived in the future.
If you find it, can you please put it in the mailbox? It would mean a lot. Yours, Kate.
Final call for the 546 to Madison. All aboard.
How did it not get copyrighted? This clip is so long!
And it just reminds me of that. I'm getting really lake housey vibes, and I am willing to place a bet on my outlier, my wild card, and see what I think of it.
Whoo, baby! Oh my god! Did I hate this book? Like, I do not think I have ever hated a book as much as I hated this one. I would have DNF'd it if it were not a 5-star prediction. I gave it 2 stars. I hated every character except for 2 side characters. I remember one of them, I can't even remember who the other side character was that I didn't hate, but oh my god, did I hate this book. Horrible. Horrible. I have one final Rainbow Rowell book on my TBR, and in all honesty, I have no faith in it whatsoever. Like, your girl is pretty sure that one's not going to be good either. Not read a Rainbow Rowell book that I like. Do not recommend Landline. And it did not give me Lake House vibes. Also, how did I not get copyrighted on these clips? These clips are like 30 seconds. Some of them feel like they're a minute. I try to keep my clips under 20 now. Alright. Let's continue.
The next book is my other probably really hyped book. You may even see it say that it's more hyped than Red, White, and Royal Blue. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. But it is The Unhoneymooners by Christina Lauren. I still don't know which one's more hyped. Christina Lauren book for ever. Like, autobiography is on my list. Josh and Hazel's Guide to Undating.
That's what I'm reading right now.
Fun fact. One with the blue cover that I can't think of. Like, there are so many books by this writing author duo that I've wanted to read, and Unhoneymooners has just been at the top of my list. It was on so many people's best books of 2019 list, and I really like the concept. Basically, from what I understand, it is about the maid of honor and the best man at a wedding. The bride and groom get food poisoning, and basically the maid of honor and best man have to go on their honeymoon, but they hate each other. And it's like a hate to love, close proximity, trope type book. I actually am getting ready to plan and film a favorite romance trope video. I think it's actually gonna be like my quote-unquote Valentine's Day video. So you guys will hear a lot about tropes that I like, but this just has a lot of tropes that I really enjoy, tropes that I want to write or have written. So I am really excited about this one. And like I said, I've just heard really good things, and I'm actually really excited because it is one of the next books that I will be reading, because I'm going to be buddy reading it with one of my favorite internet friends, Kelsey from Painting with Your Voice, or Painting with Voices. I can never remember her handle, but she's a bookstagrammer,
which is still one of my favorite book
link
people.
Her down below.
And I don't think we buddy
read
this.
And we are getting ready to buddy read, and it is my first buddy read that I've ever done, so I'm super excited, and I am expecting great
Actually, I know
things
for a fact we
from
didn't. So this is the only 5-star book, I believe, because if the next one is what I think it is, it was not a 5-star read. But this was a 5-star read. I finished it on my birthday in the pandemic, my first birthday of the pandemic. My birthday's on March 22nd. For me, where I live, the pandemic, like, affecting our day-to-day lives really started on March 13th. So, like, this was probably the first pandemic book that I read, and I really enjoyed it. I did give it 5 stars. I do really like the hate to love trope, but like what gets me is that it never felt like he hated her. It always just like, it always felt like he liked her, but that's neither here nor there. Either way, I did like this one. I did give it 5 stars, and as of right now, it is the only 5-star book from this video. Hopefully I do better in the next round. And I think that's all I have to say about it, so let's find out what the last book is, because I'm pretty sure that's what I just said. Unhoneymooners. And then the last one that is on my list is, how would I put it? If you guys have been watching my channel for the last few years where I've done my favorite books of the year, this book series has made it on the list every year. This was on here.
So it may not be a 5-star read, but I'm expecting it to be one of my best books of 2020, and it is the last book in the series, and it is the 4th book in the off-campus series. I love this series. Like, I devour it every time I get to read one of the books. I actually just reread the first book in the series, which is The Deal, again by Elle Kennedy, and I loved it. And this storyline is one that has stuck out in my head for a really long time because it is the 4th book in a series. Even though they're like a standalone series, I'm not gonna get too into the summary, but I'm expecting big things. Basically, the series is about 4 college-age hockey students who are like all-stars on their team, and it is each of their love stories in like their final 2 years of college. So you do hear bits and pieces about the other roommates in all of the books, but I feel like this is the one that you hear the least about. I could tell you very, very little about this character pre-reading, so I'm very excited to learn more. Oh, poor, sweet, sweet, innocent me. This was my least favorite book of the off-campus series, bar none. Did not like it. And the sad thing is, like, I really thought that one of the college roommates would be my favorite. He is typically a male character that I would like, but I could not stand the female in this book at all. Like, hated her. The book lasted too long. He was too good for her. Just like, was not for me. I will probably reread the other books in the series multiple times. By the time you're seeing this, I should actually have The Legacy, which is like the 4 novellas in 1 book epilogue for this series, like in my hands, probably up on my TBR shelf, staring at me, going, read me, read me, read me, read me. But yeah, did not like this one. Poor, poor, poor innocent Emma, thinking that this book was going to be something I would enjoy, because it wasn't at all. Like, that's why I was laughing, because I'm talking about how much I think I would love it, and I hated it. It is the only one to not get like 4.5 stars. I think I gave it like maybe 3.5. I gave it 3.5 or 3 stars. And I didn't like it. Alright, I think this is the actual last book. I'm gonna hit play. Those are all of my official 5-star reads of 2020. I am just going to throw in here the book that I am currently reading because, I don't know, it's just the book that I am reading and it was supposed to be on this list, so I figured I will keep it on here anyways. But it is One Day by David Nicholas, which again, just like Love Rosie, I actually watched the movie on Netflix and loved it.
I don't remember doing this. I remember reading this. I like Anne Hathaway. I think she's pretty.
I'm sorry, Dex. Hey, don't be. Go on.
Salut. Ah oui.
So I wanted to read the book, and I actually got the book the same time I got Love Rosie, but it is about two friends who meet in college, and it basically tells their story on the same date every year. So it always, I want to say it's July 15th, and it's like each chapter is July 15th of that year. So I'm very intrigued by it. I think it's a really interesting premise. So far it's good, but I'm less than 100 pages in. I just felt like it was a little, I don't want to say biased, I can't think of the right word. A little wrong, I guess maybe would be the right word, for me to put it on my list with it being a book that I've already read. Let me know in the comments down below, one, if you've read any of the books that I listed and what you think of it, and two, what are your 5-star predictions for 2020, or just...
Sorry, I got a little distracted. I should have paused it before that. I must have only been like 20 pages into that book to talk about it and like still want it on a 5-star prediction list. I think I gave it 3 stars, which like, I know myself well enough to know that like if I don't hate a book and I don't love it, it's probably gonna be a 3-star. But I think I gave it 3 stars. I'm not 100% sure I ever even like really finished it. I think I just read the last like 10 pages. I think I read like 80% and then the last 10 pages, which normally is a sign that not a huge fan of the book, and I just want to know how it ends, even though I know how it ends because it's based on a movie, but was not a huge fan. I really must have only been like 20-ish pages into that because I'm not sure, but I don't think I had positive feelings for it throughout the majority of the book. Like, I'm pretty sure I hated it throughout the majority of the book, so I'm not really sure why I would have put it onto a 5-star prediction list, but apparently I did. I don't recommend it, and yeah. So as you guys can tell, most of the books on my 5-star prediction list for this round were 3 stars, with the exception of The Unhoneymooners, which I gave 5 stars, so that was correct, and Landline, which I gave 2 stars, which was very incorrect. It's so funny to kind of watch this video because this video was made a month and a half before the global pandemic hit the United States. It was probably on the news because it was probably in China around this time, but I knew nothing of what the world was gonna bring, and the fact that the majority of those I read during lockdown is also kind of interesting to me. I wish I hadn't lost the vlog clips of it because I think it would have been really cool to kind of see me talk about where I was when I was reading those books. That's the end of this video. If you guys are interested, you definitely should check out my most up-to-date 5-star prediction video because I think I know myself better and I have a better feeling about the books that are on this 5-star prediction than the ones that were on the one that I learned that I don't know my reading taste on. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, Worlders. And we are going to do my 5-star predictions for the month of... What? I don't do 5-star predictions by the month. The Unhoneymooners...